hope and possibility. This is the transformative power of optimism, a mindset that turns challenges into opportunities. What is optimism? Optimism is defined as the tendency to hold positive expectations of the future. But optimism is more than just seeing the glass half full. It's a mindset that can be learned and practiced, impacting our brain and overall well-being. This mindset affects how we perceive the world. By shaping our experiences, we can rewire our brain through a process called neuroplasticity. What is it? Not so long ago, scientists believed our brains were fixed and did not experience change after childhood. But that's not the case. In fact, brains have a remarkable ability to change through neuroplasticity. This means that our thoughts and experiences can physically change our brain, enabling us to adapt and grow. Think of your brain like a complex power grid, with billions of pathways lighting up whenever you think, feel, or do something. Some pathways in our brains are well traveled, representing our habits and established ways of thinking. When we think or act in certain ways repeatedly, these pathways become stronger and easier for the brain to travel to. But what happens when we want to change? Imagine your brain is normally traveling through point A to point B in a straight line. But there's a block, either from an experience or an intentional way of thinking. This would mean that we look for a detour or an alternative route to reach our destination. This is how our brain overcomes obstacles, by rerouting, reinforcing the idea that we should never give up, but instead keep practicing, strengthening these networks to pave a clearer path. This means that we have the possibility to intentionally carve our own routes. Next, let's talk about the amygdala, this part of your brain that jumps into action when you're stressed, worried, or upset. We'll call it the alarm amygdala. When things don't go your way, it sounds the alarm and takes control. As we have learnt, every thought travels through a pathway in our brain, and as it travels down, by thinking that thought over and over, the stronger it will become, turning into a superhighway for your brain. But what happens when stress is in the mix? The amygdala steps in and shuts down the original path to the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that helps you think, plan, and stay calm, making it harder to stay positive. Let's say you're about to give a presentation, and you're feeling nervous. The amygdala senses this stress and sends out stress peptides that make you feel even more anxious. This can create a loop of negative thinking, making it harder to stay positive. But if you start thinking positively, you can weaken the amygdala's grip, making it easier for your brain to find a clearer path. These tiny messengers, called peptides, carry every emotion we experience, from our brain that assembled them, to then be carried throughout our body. These peptides will lock into your cells, adjusting their chemistry based on the specific emotion. For example, someone who experiences a lot of stress will have many peptides carrying the hormone of stress, cortisol, affecting how they feel and even how they look. Long-term stress and strain are harmful to our body, while ups and downs are normal. Extreme emotions create imbalances. When your brain is stuck in alarm mode, it makes it harder to stay optimistic. If you often think negative thoughts, you strengthen the pathways for your negative thinking, making it easier to keep thinking that way. Think of people like an iceberg. The small tip above the water is what others see, your behavior. But the larger part below the surface is what's really driving that behavior, your thoughts and emotions. By becoming aware of your thoughts, you can change how you feel and act. The more you practice positive thinking, the stronger those pathways in your brain become, and feel-good peptides will flood your body. Over time, this makes it easier to stay optimistic, even when the amygdala tries to take over. And understanding how we think causes our emotions and then behavior is crucial for making our lives better. Remember, optimism is a skill you can build, one thought at a time. Here are some simple ways to cultivate optimism. Engage in positive self-talk. Surround yourself with supportive people. Physical activity, mindfulness, and gratitude journaling can all reinforce positive neural pathways, making optimism a habit rather than a fleeting feeling. In exploring and understanding the science of optimism, it not only improves personal well-being, but also inspires those around us, creating a more supportive and hopeful community, causing a ripple effect. Optimism can be a choice we can make every day. By nurturing a positive mindset, we open ourselves to endless possibilities.